We are here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new style, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bring news just for you. It's Thursday, January 2nd here in Seoul. I'm Song Yujin, and this is News Generation. Today, we're joined by Ki Kim.
Good morning.
Good morning, and Grace Park.
Good morning.
Good morning. Now, both are here to speak on behalf of millennials and Gen Zs around the world. So, first of all, we'd like to begin by sending our warmest New Year's greetings to all of our viewers here on News Generation, and we hope you've had a wonderful start to 2025. Now, for our first episode of the year, we're going to explore how our generation rings in the new year. So, I would like to ask our panelists, how did you spend your New Year's Day? Did you make any special wishes for the year ahead?
Well, first of all, Happy New Year's, everyone who's watching this show and all around the world. And it was a bit different than any other day, to be frankly. Less festive atmosphere with all the political issues and sad event that took place recently. At the moment, it was turning 2025. I was at my friend's office. We had a small gathering, wishing each other the best for the 2025. Then yesterday morning, I spent good 2 or 3 hours to cook tteokguk to make that right broth. I was cooking oxtail for literally 2 and 3 hours, and I visited my mom's house to share them with my whole family. And of course, we did 세배 or New Year's bow to each other. Only things that sadden me is that now I'm more of a giving side than receiving side of 세뱃돈, which is the bow money. But it was just like any other ordinary year, wishing for healthy prosperity, winning a lottery maybe, and most importantly, Happy New Year. Being happy is the most important thing, as we've gone through so many rough things last year, both individually and the nation as a whole.
Right, so hope 2025 is less of a tough year for everyone around the world. What about you, Grace? How did you spend January 1st?
Yeah, so first of all, Happy New Year, everyone. I can't believe it's 2025 already. Honestly, I thought by now we'd be seeing flying cars, robots everywhere, but who knows, we might really see them soon. I spent New Year's Day relaxing with family. I also had a bowl of tteokguk, or Korean rice cake soup, which is a tradition for the New Year holiday in Korea. When I was younger, I used to make very ambitious goals for the new year, but I've noticed I've stopped doing that because I can't really keep them. But my special wish for this year is for stability and soundness in Korea's economy and politics. And of course, for all those affected by the recent airplane crash, to find peace and comfort in these difficult times.
Right, I think we really need that wish, but not just in Korea, but around the world. For example, we've seen the 2 wars, one in Ukraine and the Middle East, continuing last year. So hope we can see more stability and peace around the world this year. Now, as Grace mentioned, the start of a new year is often a time for reflection and goal setting. So we recently conducted a poll on our Arirang YouTube channel asking viewers about their biggest wish for 2025. And out of the 4 options, which were good health, financial freedom, economic stability, and a peaceful ordinary life, which you can see right now on the screen, good health topped the list at 43%, followed by a peaceful and ordinary life, 26%, financial freedom, 22%, and last but not least, economic stability at 9%. So what do you think of these results? As part of this generation, can you relate to these goals?
I mean, it's very understanding. It's very persuasive results. Being healthy is always a #1 priority, regardless of what year or generation we are in. Before the show, we talked about it, although we are in quote-unquote MZ, but we're a bit part, but still we share the same thoughts. The Korean thing that I like, the thing I like about Korean Hangul greeting is that just the phrase 안녕하세요 that implies how are you, how have you been okay, sort of things. Both mentally and your health, and you might be asking your family status as well. So I guess it's just embodied naturally in our nature. Every year, maybe I'm one of the oldest of all the panelists for the new gen, maybe. Sadly, I feel different every year. You get to think about your blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, and all. Sometimes you even have to think about if my insurance covers all those conditions. But I mean, you got to stay healthy, everyone. Money comes after. So listen to Uncle Key. Healthy body, healthy mind.
Well, I think it's okay, Key, because you look young and you think young, so
appreciate it.
You're okay.
Thank you.
And I also agree that without good health, you can't do anything, whether it's studying or working what you really like. So good health definitely important. What do you think, Grace?
Yeah, I can definitely relate. Every year I wish for good health for my family, for my friends. I truly believe that health is wealth. Also, the beginning of the year is a good reminder for me to be thankful for what I have, to not take ordinary days for granted, and to live each day to the fullest. It seems like other millennials and Gen Z were also reminded that peaceful and even uneventful day-to-day lives are not a given, especially after what we experienced on December 3rd when martial law was declared, then lifted. So it doesn't surprise me that the younger generation in Korea voted for a return to a normal, ordinary life as one of their biggest wishes. I was also reminded that our daily freedoms are not always guaranteed, so we should cherish them and be thankful for the luxuries that we have in this life.
Right, so don't take these values for granted. And looking at it more broadly, based on your experiences and what you've observed around you, what are some of the most common New Year's resolutions or wishes that our generation is making?
Well, most common New Year's resolutions are always same. Working out to lose some weight and saving up money, learning a new language maybe, stop smoking, drinking less, or going on a trip, getting rid of the debt if you have any, making a boyfriend or girlfriend, or even getting married. There are tons. As MZers turn from YOLO, or you only live once, to YONO, you only need one, many of them are getting serious about saving nowadays. Economy is so unstable, you never know what's going on or what's going to happen to your job or your surroundings. So there's been challenges going on like spending less or spending none last year, or spending cash challenge so you'd feel immediately how much money is being spent in your bare hands, seeing your wallets actually getting thinner.
And we've seen a lot of changes. For example, the interest rates last year, a lot of countries or central banks around the world reduced their interest, cut their interest rate. So definitely we are going through a time of big economic changes. Now, what do you think, Grace?
Yeah, I mean, our generation is very goal-oriented and we live busy lives. We take our well-being really seriously as well, with most young people prioritizing exercise as well as meditation and journaling for improving both physical and mental health. We've recognized that in recent years that emotional well-being is just as important to maintain a happy life. And society as a whole has become more open to conversations about mental health. I've also noticed that reading has regained popularity among the younger generation. This is sometimes referred to nowadays as text hip. As an extension of this, writing simple daily diaries to keep a record of day-to-day lives is trending as a pragmatic alternative to posting on social media, which can often feel superficial. This is trending especially among the millennials and Gen Z, who are tired of all the glitz and glam that we see online.
And I can definitely relate with Grace's answer, because one of my two main resolutions for 2025 is working out regularly for good health and also reading. I was especially inspired after author Han Gang won the Nobel Prize in Literature, so my small goal is to start by reading some of her most popular books. Now, so far, we focused on the New Year's resolutions and goals among our generation, but along with New Year's wishes comes unique ways of celebrating the occasion. So, Grace, could you walk us through what the typical New Year's Day scene is in Korea?
Sure. First of all, Korea still uses two different calendars, especially for big holidays like New Year's. First, there's the Gregorian calendar, or we call Yangnyeok in Korean, which is now used by most of the world. That's the one that we're all more familiar with. Then there's the lunar calendar, or called Umnyok in Korean, which is used for traditional holidays and sometimes birthdays by the older generations. The New Year, based on the Gregorian calendar, was yesterday on January 1st, and the Lunar New Year is coming up later this month. Typically, for New Year's celebrations in Korea, the Lunar New Year holiday is the bigger one, with more days off of work, when family members and relatives gather together for big meals and traditions like wearing hanbok and bowing to the elderly generations in the family, or playing traditional Korean games like yunori. I mentioned that I had a bowl of rice cake soup yesterday, and in Korea, eating a bowl of tteokguk means that you get 1 year older, and I'm glad that that tradition is not observed anymore with the new age system that we have in place. We've all kind of gotten younger now.
Right. And we will have the Lunar New Year holiday, as Grace mentioned, in the later half of this month. So we will bring you updates on that here on Houston as well. Then let's now now move on to other countries and other parts of the world. Let's first start with other Asian countries.
Well, the closest country we can talk about are probably China and Japan, and most Asian countries celebrate Lunar New Year, especially in China. So many even call them Chinese New Year, and Chinese people believe red color and gold color are lucky color that bring charms and prosperity. So they hang red lights on the street weeks before the New Year to celebrate, just like we light up the streets weeks before Christmas. They put red flowers in the doors and have a traditional lion dance with huge lion mask and costumes on the street to welcome the New Year. It has both meaning of welcoming the New Year, but also luring away all the bad fortune or spirit with the power of lion. And I also went to college in Japan, so I'm a bit familiar with the New Year's event. Many Japanese people celebrate the January 1st and visit shrine or temple to wish the best for the New Year. They have this small chest that looks like a roulette, and to write down their wishes and put them into a bit of a donation. They also do fortune telling. Each shrine or temple has a different set. Normally you roll this roundy shaped machine that looks like a roulette, and you open the ball and it tells you how lucky you are, from the super best ultra luck to ultra bad luck. And they also eat big mochi, or a bowl of chewy rice cake that is similar to Korea.
Then we're also looking at New Year scenes in other parts of the world, so please tell us that too, Ki.
Yes. Well, New York Times Square ball dropping, of course, is the most famous event in the United States. I was literally living an hour and a half away from there, and trust me, the hour and a half drive in the States is nothing. In Korea, we gather together in front of the Bosinggak Pavilion to see the bell ringing, though this year we have scaled it down as we were mourning for the lost in Jeju airplane crash. But people go there early in the morning on the 31st December to get the right spot, good spot to see the pavilion. But in the United States, in New York, they go 2 or 3 days before to secure the spot to see the ball dropping. And also in Germany, Europe, they make this marzipan pig, a cute little piggy-shaped bread, and share them with one another. So because German people think that they bring the luck to them.
So similar but a bit different on how different cultures celebrate the New Year's Day. To find out more, we also asked our viewers about New Year celebrations in their cultures, and let's take a look at what they had to say. Our first comment of the New Year is by Moon Ha. In Haiti, New Year's Day is a deeply significant celebration for us. It's marked by the preparation and sharing of soup jomu, a dish symbolizing freedom and unity as it commemorates our independence. Magic Green Squid says a lot of folks in Australia who live along the coast will go to the beach, so there are often many sunburned people on January 2nd. Kelly Brown 2879, Black Americans eat yams, black-eyed peas, and cabbage on January 1st. We also celebrate the passing of the Emancipation Proclamation that ended American slavery. I learned it from my great-grandmother, grandmother, and my mom. So thank you for sharing all the New Year celebrations in your cultures. Now, to further explore New Year's traditions across the globe, we'll soon be joined by an American Gen Z. Stay tuned.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search our channel Arirang News. Click Community and leave a comment down below. Make a new type of news with us.
We're back. Joining us today is Brittany Schmidt, a Gen Z from the United States. Welcome back to the show, Brittany.
Hi, it's good to be back.
Great to have you back, and Happy New Year. So first of all,
Happy New Year.
Thank you. And first of all, could you tell us what New Year celebrations are like in your country, the United States? And are there any unique traditions people follow?
So we always start New Year's as a big celebration on New Year's Eve. Everybody gets together with huge parties and watches the ball drop. They gather with friends, families with this big celebration, fireworks at midnight. But no matter how people celebrate, there's always a shared sense of hope and excitement for what the new year will bring. I grew up in the South, so I also shared the tradition of eating black-eyed peas for the new year. And I know some people have a superstition of not sweeping on New Year's Day to not sweep away their good luck.
Okay, so well, hopefully you had a good change in the new year? And also, did you make a New Year's resolution for yourself? And is there any common goals among the young people in the United States?
So for myself, it's always been a dream of mine to work for a specific gaming company. So it's my resolution to focus on my skills and networking that can help make that dream a reality. And as for common goals, it's usually self-improvement, fitness, weight loss, learning new skills, dedicating more time for hobbies, building financial stability, or fostering and maintaining social relationships.
It's very interesting to hear, Brittany. What kind of year do you hope 2025 will be for yourself, your country, or even the world?
So for 2025, I hope is a year for growth, personally and professionally. I would like to take on new challenges and self-improvement. For America, I would like to see some unity among its population. And for the world, I guess I would hope we can move towards more kindness and understanding towards each other, because I feel like we could all use a little more of that going into the new year.
Right. Some very great New Year's wishes. Hope all your New Year's wishes come true, Brittany. Thank you so much for your time today. And once again, hope you have a good start to 2025.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, so ending off, we're just 2 days into 2025, as today is once again January 2nd, with nearly 12 full months ahead of us. So what else do you hope to see or experience this year, or what kind of year do you hope 2025 will be?
Well, I guess the key word that I picked out for this year is
Keyword for key.
soundness. I guess it's the right term because it's been a super rough last year. No more bumpy ride has been enough. It's just not my personal point of view, but it's worldwide. As you mentioned, there's war going on in Ukraine and in the Middle East, and the world was just divided into half. We had a pretty big elections last year and the year before. Some had a presidential election, some had a National Assembly election, right? And everywhere you go, you look at the foreign correspondents or foreign media channels, they're divided into half. They're either left or right, or they always fight each other. And it's a time that we unite again and we just show some love. You know, we can. Now there's so many sad news, especially that Jeju Air crash that took place in Korea. Sadly, that sort of united Korea. But hopefully there are more positive things and happy things that that could unite Korean people and that could unite a whole world. Like that's why the Olympic comes in handy, sporting events or some cultural events that could take place to make people in one whole single spot to make them happy. Personally, of course, I would wish that we cast it more often on a lot of TV shows, if you're listening out there, dramas or movies or a lot of events, and my company to expand. I really wish I could take us, but also I wish I could take some time off to go on a board for a trip, because I really need that time off.
Hope all your New Year's wishes come true, Ki.
Thank you.
What about you, Grace?
Yeah, this year, I agree with Ki. I wish for more unity, not only in Korea, but all over the world. Personally, for me, I want to see more of the world. I've never been to Italy, and so I'm planning to maybe make a trip out to Italy later this year.
Is there a specific city you like to visit?
So right now, I have 3 in mind. I have Rome, of course, and then I have Florence and Venice. So have you guys been to any of
I've been to Rome last year for a business trip and it was really nice, so I definitely recommend you to visit Rome.
Okay, so Rome is definitely on my list for 2025. I'm also very excited to continue being here on News Generation to discuss more interesting topics with all of you guys. And as much hope as I have for the new year, I also mourn with the families and the victims of the recent tragedy. It's quite a somber holiday this year. It honestly really doesn't feel like New Year's like it does in the other years. But yeah, as we reflect on the sad news and the current political situation in Korea, I can only wish that everything will work out for the better. And yeah, just for everyone to have peace, comfort, and have a little joy in this 2025.
Right.
Well, how about you? We haven't heard from the host of the News Generation yet, so
Very
how about
curious.
you?
Well, I'm glad that you asked the question. So as a reporter here on Arirang News, my goal for 2025 is, of course, become a better host for News Generation, working well with all of you guys, and as a cultural correspondent, working on good news stories. And there was a comment that I recently saw online which really touched my heart. It was that 2024 hasn't been an easy year for Korea, but I think that it wasn't an easy year for all of us around the world. So I hope that 2025 is a bit more easygoing. Hope we can report more news that are filled with hope and positivity. And I just want to give a big pat to everyone and just give you a big hug because we've all been through a rough patch in 2024. Hope 2025 is a bit better for all of us. And that's all from NewsGen today, but we'll be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Korea time. Special thanks today to Kikim.
Thank you.
Thank you, and Grace Park.
Thank you.
Thank you. And from all of us at News Generation, once again, Happy New Year to all our viewers and wish you all the best in 2025. We are News
News Generation.
Generation.